Hello. We are talking today about On Writing by Raymond Carver, written in 1981. This is an essay written by Raymond Carver about some of his ideas and the thoughts he had regarding what makes some writing especially good, what he himself was looking for in writing. So a lot of the things, he's referring to a lot of authors that you've seen in passing. Certainly, we've read O'Connor already, but a lot of things that we are pulling out of here are very interesting because they're very different than what O'Connor was looking at. Because what Carver himself is, saying about, if we can kind of move over, you can see, as you can see, I've got my annotated copy. It's possible in a poem or a short story to write about commonplace things and objects using commonplace but precise language, and to endow those things, a chair, a window curtain, a fork, a stone, a woman's earring, with immense, even startling power. It is possible to write a line of seemingly innocuous dialogue and have it send a chill along the reader's spine, the source of artistic delight, as Nabokov would have it. That's the kind of writing that most interests me. And then he's going to be he talks about his disinterest in sloppy writing. He talks a great deal about O'Connor. Obviously, we can see the through line between O'Connor and many of our other writers and their interests. And then at the end, we have I like it when there is some feeling of threat or sense of menace in short stories. I think a little menace is fine to have in a story. For one thing, it's good for the circulation. There has to be tension, a sense that something is imminent, that certain things are in relentless motion, or else, most often, there simply won't be a story. What creates tension in a piece of fiction is partly the way the concrete words are linked together to make the most visible action of the story. But it's also the things that are left out and that are implied, the landscape just under the smooth, but sometimes unbroken and unsettled surface of things. And primarily what we're going to be pulling out of the Carver is this idea of the commonplace, this idea that something doesn't have to be a, profound or unusual day in the course of a character's life or the life of what is occurring in this story. But this idea that something in the commonplace, something in the way that this, day is progressing or the way that a character is feeling or responding to things, even though it might be a day that is like every other day in their lives, something about this has a special relevance. It has resonance. The commonplace has something that the language that the writer is using, the way they are setting up, there is a beauty in it. There also is kind of an underlying beneath the surface element that we can tease out and find useful and interesting in analysis. So, as far as we've seen in the O'Connor, she was talking about that use of violence. For O'Connor, this is the day that is unlike every other day. For Carver, he's saying like you can also have a day that is every other day, that isn't exceptional in the large sense, but something in the writing allows it to transcend. There is that beauty of the commonplace, the use of the small, quiet moment is what Carver is interested in. So we can kind of take this lens as well and think about how we're going to apply it and where we see it in the various stories that we read. So as you keep reading the stories that we are pulling from our collection and that we are reading from the text, think about when, as you go through, does the O'Connor lens apply well to this story? Or is this a story that we can use the Carver better to understand? So kind of think about that as we keep going and consider as you go how you can use these lenses and how they can help you interpret the fiction that we are reading. So now you have the Carver lens as well.